See here. Good morning, everyone. Hope that you are having a good Saturday today. Let's see. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Today, we are going to talk about pandemic positives, which I'm really excited about. Because I've gotten some good responses from you guys, and I'm excited to share some of those things. So, first, I'm just going to go through a couple of the general updates, just COVID related, and then I'll get into my list of positive things that I've taken from the pandemic so far, and then we will get into the ones that I've gotten online from all you guys. So, let me just get right here. I've got my list of stuff over here. So, biggest thing about coronavirus as far as changes or new updates, really not that much has changed. Our cases now have been pretty stable for the last few weeks, so we are still having, cases on a daily basis. We still have hospitalizations, and things are definitely still very busy and a very real possibility. But we have done a great job, I think, with the masks and doing everything else with distancing and that kind of stuff correctly, that we have been able to kind of decrease the number, and we're not so overwhelming. So good job to all of you guys doing the right thing, and thank you for doing that. Definitely just need to continue to do those things and keep that in mind. I know a lot of people are really ready to start doing things, especially as football season starts to kick off here in our area, especially Hail State. And I think the biggest thing that we're going to run into, obviously, there's not really going to be tailgating and not really as many people going to games. But you do want to be mindful of having people over to your house and that kind of thing, or going over to watch games with people. You just need to continue to be careful, keep your bubble small, wear a mask if you're going to be inside and not really able to keep a good distance. Definitely, if you're able to get a good outdoor setup to watch a game and spend some time with other people, then that's a great idea. But just be sure that you continue to be very mindful. Anybody could have COVID and not know it, so you just want to be really careful and cautious about that. So that's still very important. Flu shots, you definitely want to get those now, definitely by the end of October, which is coming up quickly. It'll be October next week, which is crazy. So make sure and get your flu shot. That's definitely going to be important. And then I was going to touch just on pneumonia shots as well, because that's something that we do see commonly in kind of this sick season over the fall and winter. So pneumonia shots, there's two types out there. And in general, for most people that are healthy, you don't need to start getting a pneumonia shot for routine purposes until you turn 65. For those people who do have significant diabetes or heart or lung disease, heavy smokers, or people with kidney disease, there is a recommendation to begin that kind of pneumonia shot series before you turn 65. So that's just one thing. If you fall into that category, or if you're not really sure if you fall into that category, then definitely have a conversation with your doctor about it, and they can tell you the proper recommendation that fits you and whatever conditions you have. So those are designed to prevent the most common types of bacterial pneumonia that are out there and in the world that people could be susceptible to. So make sure that you ask your doctor about that, okay? So on to the positives from the pandemic. So I'm going to start with my list and just go through some of the things that have been really helpful, and I've found kind of a silver lining in all the craziness that we have been going through the last several months, long time now. So one thing on my list is my gratitude listing. I know I've talked about that on here before, that every day a group of my friends, we all share our 3, sometimes more items that we are thankful for. So sometimes it's just thankful that we had dinner on the table. Sometimes it's good interactions we've had with people or family time, really a variety of different things. So you can always find something positive that happened in your day. So that's really helped us, I think, look out for things throughout the day and be just more positive and have a more positive outlook in general. So if you're not doing that, I encourage you to do that, whether you write it in a journal and you can look back on it later, or if you share it with your friends or your family. That's a great practice to start doing. So I would encourage that. Next on my list are, since we've not been able to do a lot of our normal activities, my husband and I enjoy going out to eat and just, spending time with friends or family. And since we haven't been able to do that kind of thing quite as much, we have started doing, like more board games or playing a game, online or something like that. That's been more fun. We've done some kind of group happy hour type things with friends that we don't get to see as much. And there's some games that you can incorporate into that kind of thing. So that's been a fun thing that's different, and activities that you can still do with other people, even from home. So that's been fun. Just more family time with my immediate family has been good, and I know a lot of people have mentioned that as a positive for them. Another thing on my list is that because of having to do telemedicine, I've actually enjoyed that a lot more than I thought I would. I think it's given me the opportunity to connect with my patients in a different way. So I've been able to see, if people have like a collection of things, or I can kind of see that they've got supplies for a hobby or something that they like to do, and that gives us a new thing to talk about, which has been fun. And then I think some people have just been a little bit more comfortable in opening up and talking about certain things that they may not have felt as comfortable talking about in the office and in person. So I think that's been a really unique thing that I didn't necessarily expect, because people, when they're kind of in their home or in an environment that they're more comfortable in, I think they've been a little bit more able to open up, and I think that's been really good, and I've really enjoyed that, and I think it's been helpful for me finding ways to help my patient with whatever it is that they're dealing with. So that's been a really great aspect as well. One thing, I'm sure if you know me, you know this, but I'm a huge kind of OCD person, perfectionist, like everything to be done the right way, my way. And that's one thing that in a pandemic, you can't always have things your way, and they can't be perfect. And so I have gotten used to kind of giving up a little bit of that control and not feeling like everything has to be perfect. It's not the end of the world if something doesn't go exactly my way or something's not done exactly the right way. So that's been, I think, really helpful for me and just my mental health and outlook on things. If I've got a little like typo in one of my notes or something like that, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to hurt anybody. So that's been really good for me too, just kind of letting go of some of that perfection that I think in today's world we're all kind of held to this higher level of trying to be perfect and do all this stuff that's exactly right. And so it's really shown some of the more important things that we should focus on. So that's been really good as well. I've been pushing the water intake to all you guys too, so I'm behind today. But my water, I've been better hydrated through the pandemic, and I've really been focusing on that. So that's been great, and I'm thankful for that, and that's been helpful. And then last thing on my list that I've come up with so far is just the staff at our clinic. We have been up and down, changing things, all kinds of different directions. And it's been a whirlwind of things from day to day, week to week, and month to month. And I'm just really thankful that we've had a really good staff that can go with the flow and go with all the crazy changes and things that we're working on to keep the staff and our patients safe. So I'm really thankful for them as well. So now on to the list of things that other people have sent me, and I hope that some of these things may give you guys some ideas of stuff that you can try. If you want to still work on some other things that you can do as we continue to try and be safe, especially going into the winter time. So let's see, I've got one person who sent in, they were thankful that they've been able to teach their kids how to cook and do that activity together. They've been able to spend a lot more time around the table. They're not as rushed. And so they've been thankful to be able to sit and talk more and just have quality time with their family. Another person, kind of similar, more time with their kids, and especially over the summer. They basically had like a screen-free summer and were not on the iPads. They did a lot more activities outside and games together, started eating dinner again at the table regularly, and that's something that they have continued to keep up as they've gone back to school. And I think the biggest benefit in this one is that now that their kids have not been, on the iPad or on the computer or on the TV quite as much, they don't really want to be on them as much, which is really good. I think in general, most people have gotten very used to being on their screens and that kind of stuff, especially kids. And so anytime that we can try to encourage them to be off the screen, I think is really great. So they've done that, doing stuff like in-house sleepovers, doing dance-offs in the kitchen, flying kites, slip and slides outside, and that kind of thing. So those are really great activities and things to encourage with the kids. So that's really fun. One person put in they were thankful they had time to sit down and watch Avatar with their kids. So that's something that they enjoyed that they wanted to share with their child. That's Mac. He likes to bark. Let's see here. One of my friends sent in thankful for maybe potentially working from home on a more permanent basis. They've gotten into a good routine of family walks at home after dinner, and her little boy likes to finish dinner and then he's ready to go on his walk. So that's a really good healthy habit to encourage as a family. Encourage kids to be active and be preventative in their health and that kind of thing. So that's a really good habit to start. So that's a good one. Let's see here. I've got one person who she and her husband usually work on Saturdays, so kind of their usual family day is on Sundays. But as I'm sure most of you know, a lot of the time your free time gets, filled up with things like chores around the house or having to run errands. So a lot of that time that you would normally want to spend as a family just kind of relaxing kind of gets condensed, and then you may not have as much as you want. So, unfortunately, not being able to work as much, that was a downside, but they were able to find the positive in that and just have more time to spend with their family, and they really enjoy doing things like playing outside, sleeping in a little bit, relaxing, which can be good, having pancakes, which was a change for them. And then the same person really, I think, has made a good point in the fact that they kind of confronted some of their health and their diet and their exercise activity, and really trying to have a better understanding of health problems from a whole perspective of things like cholesterol or blood pressure and mental health, all of those things in one. And I think that I've seen a lot of patients do that. I've had more patients coming in to do wellness visits just to get a checkup and kind of see and screen for things that may put them at higher risk of COVID or other problems down the line. So I think that has been a good positive for a number of people. So I'm glad that that one got pointed out, because I think that's a really important positive. Had another person send in, they were really, upset and conflicted when they got furloughed. But during that time, they were able to spend more time with their family. They had one of their parents had passed away, and they were able to spend some quality time going through some of their things and coming up with a plan for how to deal with all of those things. Able to help one of their kids move, which was really special for them, get them set up in a new location. And then a lot of home projects. I know a lot of people have done that too. So I think that's been a good activity and positive, all those things that you've had on your list that you want to get done, and then they kind of always get pushed back because you've always got something else that's going on. And so that's one thing that I think has been really fun for people as well. So she kind of said, it still, was difficult, but she certainly understood, that was just kind of what had to happen. And she just felt like she really learned from that, being able just to trust the plan that was made for her, and things have worked out well, and she was able to find some of those positives, which I think is great. And then let's see here. I think this is the last one that I've got, and this one is from a professor. And so this is good for anybody that's teaching all the way down to the elementary level, all the way up into college. I think all of you are doing a great job with all of these changes and things that you have to work around and have had to do in a completely different way. But this person just said that kind of rethinking how I do my job and make teaching more effective, especially in this new environment, learning new ways to teach, and then it's also given them more family time, and they've developed some home workout plans and stuff, which I think has kept them more accountable. So those are all really good positive things. So feel free to comment and send in more positives, and I hope you guys were able to take maybe some ideas of things that you can keep up and do and continue through the rest of the pandemic. Definitely send me any ideas or questions or comments that you have for future videos that you want me to talk about. And just remember to keep wearing your mask, keep your distance, and sanitize. So I hope you guys have a good weekend. See you later.